Radical Radio Collective.
Good afternoon, listeners. You're tuned into 4ZZZ 102.1 FM. This is Eco Radio, Australia's longest running peace and environment radio show, taking over your middle of the day, middle of the week, middle-ish, starty, middle-y.
Middle and a half.
Of your month.
Middle and a half.
Yeah, airwaves. My name is Dave. My pronouns are he, him.
My name is Zack. My pronouns are he, they.
And I want to start off by acknowledging and paying my respects to the custodians on the country in which we broadcast. We're located in the city Mangingin on Turrbal Yarrabilba land. I also want to acknowledge and pay my respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are listening in today. Our radio waves reach Cubby Cubby and Yinambara country in the north, Waka Waka country in the west. In the east, we pay our respects to the Mookin-Bah people, and down south, we reach the Commonwealth, Nagarrawal, Mununjali, Wangarabarra and Mookin-Bah countries. There is no Crown land. Thank you to No Idea for all the great ideas. I always love hearing about the ocean, and it's getting a bit scary out there if it's getting darker.
It's getting darker?
Yeah, did you not hear that one? The ocean's getting darker. Max said it's because the whales pee in it.
Oh, those damn whales.
It's not true. That was just Max's guess.
No, that's
very good guess.
I was going to suggest maybe we should put more wind farms out there then.
Oh, like...
If it's getting darker because of the whales, we need to get the wind farms to get rid of the whales.
Of course, because wind farms kill whales.
They do.
It's not true. Not true at all.
No.
So today on the show, we are bringing you a two-part interview that I conducted with Surya McEwen from the Freedom Flotilla Coalition. Surya was set to board a ship to take aid to Gaza, but the vessel was attacked in Malta this May, and he was unable to continue. However, Surya will talk to us about the vessel and crew that have been detained by Israel, and what will happen for them moving forward. So that is what we've got for you today, and as always, later we'll have the Bushcare Roundup, so that you can be aware of all environment and peace volunteering opportunities to get around. And I also want to shout out again to the absolute cracker of a year we're going to be having with gigs here in Brisbane. It's going to be insane. Just some of the lineup. That Z50 gig, the lineup on that are like Regurgitator, The Saints, Tropical Fuckstorm, Butterfingers,
Platonic Sex we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, Platonic Sex. It's insane. I'm so jazzed. Jim Davis texted in. He said he got his tickets to Market Day.
Oh.
That's fantastic.
It would have been in that one quickly because I believe pre-sale only opened like 4 minutes ago.
Yeah, and it's only open for Z subscribers.
Until tomorrow.
Yeah. So you have to be a Z subscriber if you want to get in for those early bird tickets. Not only do you get the warm inner glow of being a Z subscriber, but you get those early tickets. You can also become a volunteer here at the station, which has the illustrious 50 years happening this year. I mean, that's a huge amount of time. I also saw that there was someone else who's celebrating their 50 years is Queensland National Parks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Congratulations,
Only
Queensland.
50 years.
Damn. That's strange considering I believe Australia had like the second oldest national park system in the world.
Does it?
I believe so. There's a national park somewhere down in around the Sydney area that's been around since the second oldest.
Probably Blue Mountains.
No, not the Blue Mountains. I'll find it out.
Okay.
Find out and we'll come back to it because I know it's out there.
All right. Well, what we are going to go into is my first part of my interview with Surya. Again, Surya is a member of the Freedom Flotilla and was going to be taking aid to Gaza. However, his ship was attacked, and Surya will be talking to us about the crew of the vessel that are now detained by Israel. So let's go into that. You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio. So the time is about 11 o'clock on Tuesday, What is happening right now with the Freedom Flotilla?
I mean, the crew still haven't been allowed any contact with the outside world. No contact with lawyers or diplomats or their families. We have confirmation that they were taken to Ashdod port and being processed to be handed over to Israeli immigration. And then we suspect they'll be taken to Ramleh after going through a hearing. But we don't have any contact yet.
Okay, so what happened with the boarding? The crew were on their way to Gaza, but still in international waters?
That's right. They were about 100 nautical miles off the coast, so deep into international waters. Quadcopter was surrounding them from the sky, and they covered the boat and the participants in like chemical irritant, and then a number of ILF vessels surrounded them, boarded the ship, took them hostage, and we haven't had contact since.
Right. Was the chemical some sort of like pepper spray or mace?
It looked like a kind of white spray. In the footage, you can see it kind of covering everybody and the ship, and it obviously had a quite profound effect on people who were kind of coughing and were having issues with it.
Mm-hmm.
Looked like a foamy white substance.
Okay. And, they are in international waters. What's the reason that was given to board the vessel? Do you know that?
No, they were jamming communications with, like, overwhelming amounts of audio from different directions on board. They didn't provide any justification for entering the ship. They just provided directions and entered forcefully.
Okay, well, let's go back to the reasoning. Why was the Freedom Flotilla going to Gaza?
I mean, the current starvation campaign of the likely 2 million Palestinians in Gaza is grotesque, and the Freedom Flotilla Coalition sails to break Israel's illegal siege on Gaza. Basically, nothing's allowed in or out, and it's a civil society effort from people from all over the world to break that siege and bring aid and also solidarity to the people of Gaza.
Yeah, how long has that blockade been in place?
The naval blockade has been in place for decades. The full blockade of the entirety of the Gaza Strip has been in place for almost 2 decades, since 2007.
And then 2010 was when Israel boarded another Freedom Flotilla vessel, killing 9 people. I'm glad that hasn't happened to this vessel. Is that what people are worried about?
Absolutely. In 2008, a bunch of vessels actually broke the siege and made it to shore. In 2010, that's right, they boarded again illegally in international waters. They killed 9 activists on board, and one died later, who was left in a coma on board, as well as about 70 who were seriously injured in that attack. There's been various attempts in the years since, with different levels of diplomatic sabotage, also boats being attacked. There was a mission that had a boat in Gaza trying to bring goods out of Gaza because the blockade doesn't allow anybody to trade who's in Gaza with the outside world. All sorts of different missions. And in the context of the genocide that's escalated these last couple of years, it was difficult to know the severity of the response from a mission like this at a moment like this. Earlier in the year, about a month ago, we had a mission trying to leave from Malta, and we attempted to do that in complete secrecy to try to decrease the possibility of sabotage. We had 18 volunteers who were on board the ship who were just outside of Maltese territorial waters in the European Economic Zone. And a few hours before the other 40 of us were about to head out to meet the ship on board, it was bombed twice by small drone munitions in European waters. And because of that, because of the severity of that, and the silence of the European community around that attack, we were very worried for the people on board this particular mission. And yeah, I mean, I'm relieved that it wasn't bombed, that it appears that the people on board, my friends on board, are safe, going through a legal system that is terrible. But the global attention on this likely means that they'll be treated much more carefully than they treat the thousands and thousands of Palestinians who are experiencing isolation. Being trapped in that system at the moment as well.
Going back to that, the previous vessel, that was just one that you were planning to be on before it was bombed.
That's right.
Can you tell me what that was like when you were getting ready to set sail and then having the boat attacked?
I mean, yeah, it was the middle of the night when it was bombed. It was going to be early morning, a few hours later, that we were going out on small boats to meet the ship. We got the messages. It was a chaotic moment of the risk analysis that we do for these sorts of missions. There's all sorts of possibilities that can happen. We did not expect them to be bombing us in European waters before we even started the journey.
Yeah.
They attacked the generator of the ship, so we basically lost communications short after the attack. And the last that we heard was that the drones were still surrounding and there was a big fire on the ship. It was taking on water. And so we had a pretty full-on morning, desperately worried about the people on board. Not sure if there was going to be more attacks, hoping that it wasn't going to sink in the meantime. We hastily tried to organise, obviously, the boats that were going to take us and the aid out to meet the big ship. Basically, just after the attack, they called us and said, look, we can't do that. Being told by the government we can't follow through with our commitment. So we had to find other little ships to take us out there to check on the people on board and the damage to the ship. But then we got intercepted by the Maltese Navy and we weren't allowed aboard. We were allowed to get quite close and we could speak to the people on board, but yeah, it was a full-on time.
Yeah, so was that disappointing for you, not being able to go on this mission that you'd been planning for months?
Absolutely. I mean, at that point, not a single piece of food or bit of water or medicine had been allowed into the Gaza Strip for months. And hundreds of people were starving to death. We were getting reports of, the horror was so intense that we were hugely disappointed that we couldn't do something about it. It was a bigger ship than the Madeleine. The Conscience was going to enable us to take about 15 tons of aid and medical equipment and food, which obviously is just a drop in the ocean. But a big part of these missions is to open up a humanitarian corridor and try to be the spark that awakens the world to intervene in the horror there.
Yeah, because of the high celebrity status, I guess you would call, or high notoriety of some of the participants on the Madeleine. Do you think that there is going to be a big international backlash to this detainment of the Freedom Flotilla?
Absolutely. I think it's definitely put Gaza back on the map in terms of international media. And so it's been a successful mission on that level. The Indooroopilly Foundation has opened up a war crimes case against Israel in the UK because the Madeleine was flagged by the United Kingdom, which basically makes it an extension of UK territory, and for it to be attacked and stolen in international waters is an act of piracy. The chemical attack on the people on board is considered a war crime, so they're taking that through the courts at the moment. It's definitely helped to garner international attention on what's happening in Gaza. And the Samud convoy and the March to Gaza that's underway right now will also build on that momentum and hopefully can shift the direction of things for Palestinians.
Yeah, I have seen that Israel has termed the yacht the selfie yacht and saying that this is just a photo op. How does the Freedom Flotilla respond to that?
I mean, Israel's consistently used all sorts of nefarious propaganda tactics to justify the genocide that they're committing right now. Responding to a genocidal apartheid state and taking them seriously, I don't think is a particularly meaningful thing to do. Mm-hmm. It was a very brave, very considered action, and hopefully there'll be many more. We'd like to see hundreds, thousands of ships take to the seas and break the siege.
Yeah.
People often don't realise the severity of the decades-long siege. You can see people start to be aware of like the collective punishment that's happening at the moment. The collective starvation of 2 million people deliberately is so horrific that there's like a growing awareness around that, but it's been going on for decades. Mm-hmm. There's been an Israeli policy in Gaza of two policies. One, they describe as mowing the lawn, which is basically every couple of years just bombing the hell out of Gaza and attacking the civilian population without holding back at all in an attempt to kind of make Gaza unlivable for 2.3 million civilians at the time. They also have a policy that they call putting them on a diet, which is a horrific policy of like, it's a concentration camp. It's been a concentration camp for 2 decades, and it's completely surrounded. And putting them on the diet is basically a policy of only allowing enough calories into Gaza to keep people underfed, the whole population underfed. Even if that food was distributed perfectly, no one would have enough food collectively. And anything that we can do to bring awareness around that and to build a movement that transforms the state of being there, that undermines the occupation, the apartheid, and like creates a possibility of a peaceful, livable existence for Palestinians who deserve like autonomy and freedom of movement and peace, like all human beings. We'll keep fighting for that.
Okay, so what can we do here in Brisbane or in Australia?
I mean, in Australia, the most important thing that we could be doing as a country is sanctioning Israel and cutting all diplomatic ties. So the more pressure that we can put on our government to cut ties with the apartheid state and to demand sanctions be put on Israel until they can follow international law and the apartheid system is dismantled there, the better. And so one form of building that movement is joining the Palestine solidarity movements in your area. There's a strong movement in Brisbane, and there's strong movements in towns and cities across the country. And becoming a part of that collective it's easy to be online and to see the horrors and feel isolated and disconnected. But the more that we can build with other people in our lives, to the extent that we have capacity, like some people have a lot of time and energy for this, and some people have a lower capacity. But the more that we can be involved consistently in whatever forms possible for ourselves, the bigger those movements can come, and the more effective they'll be. One thing is just to join APAN, APAN. If you go online and become a member, it definitely supports the movement for Palestine in Australia in a very powerful way as well.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Surya, for joining me.
Appreciate you, David. Thank you for giving me the time. I look forward to talking more in the future.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for people listening, if you're not already, follow the Gaza Freedom Flotilla on Instagram, and the freedomflotilla.org is where the press releases are coming out, and put a bit of pressure on the government to protect the Madeleine and to sanction Israel.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Surya.
Appreciate you, brother. Have a nice day.
You too. That was my interview with Surya McEwen from the Freedom Flotilla Coalition about the Madeleine being boarded by Israeli Navy and detained in international waters. Some of the people have been released now, and some are still being detained in Israel. Let's go to a song now. This is Rafif Ziada with Cultivate Hope. You're listening to Eco Radio.
Ever wish there was a better way to get the word out about your amazing products or services? Hit up 4ZZZ. We've got our finger on the pulse of the local community. We can get your message out there to the people who need to hear it with the help of our sponsorship campaigns. Want to know more? Hit up sponsorship at 4zzz.org.au for details. That's sponsorship at 4zzz.org.au. We help you spread the word, and you help us keep community radio alive. It's a win-win.
You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio. We just heard then from Robbie Dunn with War is a Mental Disease. Robbie Dunn's Irish folk singer that's now based in Brisbane, or has been based in Brisbane for a long time now. And before that was Rafif Ziada with Cultivate Hope. Rafif is Palestinian of Palestinian heritage, and an amazing poet, and that album was done with Phil Mansour, who is also a Brisbane man.
Cool.
And that was our interview with Surya McEwen about the Freedom Flotilla Coalition and what's been happening there recently. If you like what we do here at 4ZZZ and you'd like us to continue with these interviews on peace, things that are linked to the environment. As we all know, war is not good for the environment.
It is not.
I've been to the Western Front in France, a historic battlefield, and there's still huge craters in the land. They're still digging up unexploded ordnance and from their fields, and they just leave it on the side. The same thing in many places. So if you'd like to continue what we do here at 4ZZZ, you can head to 4zzz.org.au/support and go in the running to win this month's prize is from Garage Sounds, a $200 gift certificate from Garage Sounds Record Store. That's if you subscribe this month, that's what you can go in the running to win. But also you can go in the running to get early bird tickets.
Ooh.
So another great reason to become a subscriber is you can get early access to or discounted tickets to the fantastic Z50 gigs. That's 50 years of 4ZZZ on your airwaves. And the big one that is coming up, the big gig, is Z50, which is happening at the Roma Street Parklands in October. Some of the bands are The Saints, 73 to 78, Regurgitator, these are two of the biggest Brisbane bands ever. Tropical Fuckstorm from Nam, Full Flower Moon Band, Big Noda, which is Briggs' new outfit. Briggs is Yorta Yorta Man, and I just absolutely love what he's doing with Big Noda. Very Rage Against the Machines, and very staunch. Butterfingers is one of those artists that's going to be playing at Z50. Butterfingers, a fantastic hip-hop group from when I was young. Just absolutely a blast from the past for me. But the gig that's coming up next is That Sound Over the Fence, and that's going to have the Blankettes, which is a fabulous Brizzy band. Evil Dick Industries, Fat Shorty, Ghost Mutt are back, Tape Off, they're going to be there. So it's going to be a big, great year for gigs, and if you're a subscriber, you get early bird and discount tickets. So yeah, there's so many great reasons to be a subscriber to this wonderful station. Not only do you get the warm inner glow from supporting your community, we are community run, community led, but you can also become a volunteer and be part of the volunteer family here at 4ZZZ if you subscribe. You can become part of the 50-year history of 4ZZZ, the oldest and longest running community station in Australia.
Dang. That's pretty sick. Get in there before we turn 50 so you can say that you contributed to the 50 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that'd be a great thing. So, those are some of the things that are happening. I'm going to go to a song. This is Big Noda with their song Identity. You're listening to 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio.
If you had a strange lump growing on your forehead, chances are you might get it looked at. But a polyp growing inside me, your bowel, nothing. And the polyps I get can lead to Australia's second deadliest cancer. Give a crap about your bowel at bowelcanceraustralia.org.
Welcome back. You're on 4ZZZ. This is Eco Radio, and we just heard then from Platonic Sex with Easy, and before that was Big Noda with Identity. We got some texts in, Zack.
Yes, we did.
Stacey texts in saying that Briggs has been a silent turncoat about Palestine. And I can't find much that Briggs has said about Palestine. He said in 2023 that he was uneducated on the matter and has been silent about it. I tried looking up what Ed Cooper from the Saints had said about Palestine. I couldn't find anything there either. So it seems like a lot of people are staying silent, maybe because they don't feel they're qualified to speak. I don't know. But we also got a text in from Owen. We were talking earlier about the Freedom Flotilla as we interviewed Surya McEwen. And Owen said the attack on the conscience is like the attack that happened to the Rainbow Warrior, which happened to the Rainbow Warrior was an environmental Sea Shepherd vessel, and was attacked by France, and France had to take responsibility after they denied it for a while. So, attacking activist vessels is not something new, and it seems to be in a lot of, imperialist playbooks, and non-imperialist playbooks, actually, I think you'll find. It's been so great having everyone text in. If you ever want to text in to 4ZZZ, you can go to text in at 0420626733. We're always happy to get a text, and we're even happier when your name comes up as a subscriber, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be doing to get those early bird tickets.
Yeah, get in on it.
Yeah. So, what do we have left for the show, Zach?
It's our favourite time of the show where we get to hear Dave's little jingle about Bushcare.
The favourite part is after the jingle, but
No, I like the little jingle.
okay.
It's a Bushcare Roundup. They've been pulling out weeds and then they put in trees. It's a Bushcare Roundup.
All right, so this is your Bushcare Roundup. Everything happening in environment and peace, or a few things that are happening in environment and peace. Sometimes we can't list them all. Happening this Friday, the 13th. Ooh, spooky time.
Ooh.
Spooky time.
Especially when you look at the activity that's going on Friday. The
So
13th.
at 6:30, you can go nighttime, PM, 18:30 for all you military buffs. You can go to the park after dark spotlighting. That's happening at Plunkett Conservation Park in Yarrabilba.
Who knows what you'll see?
Bats, probably.
Yeah, true. Maybe I'll go for a bit of a spooky walk around Yarrabilba.
Yeah.
At night with Old Plunkett Conservation Park without telling the other group.
Oh, so you just spook up on them.
Yeah, that'd be a very in-character thing for me to do.
Okay. Happening Saturday the 14th at 7:30am, Mookin-Bah Working Bee. That's for Bushcare, happening at 106 Greencamp Road, Wakerley. At 9:00am, you can go to the Bushcare at Moore Park in Indooroopilly. On Sunday, Zach, you want to take us away?
On Sunday the 15th from 8 till 10, there is the Stevens Mountain Bushcare. That one's at Stevens Mountain in Greenslopes. Then from 8 till 10 again, there's the June Bushcare Working Bee at Whites Hill Reserve, Camp Hill. From 8:30 till 10:30am, there is the Harman's Reserve Bushcare Working Bee at 34 Wood Street, Manly. From 8:30 till 10:30 again, there is another June Bushcare Working Bee. This one is at Riverdale Park in Meadowbrook. And then from 2 till 4pm, there is the Bushcare in Bee, and that one's taking place at the Oxley Creek Common in Rockley.
That's a lovely event where you do an hour of weeding and then you go to the Helios Brewery, which is all solar powered.
Oh, sick!
Yeah, it's actually like a really cool setup.
Yeah.
And they give you a free pot for pulling out weeds.
Sick.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
great.
if you want to support environmentally conscious breweries as well, I suppose a place that is fully powered by solar is not a bad place to go to.
Yeah, especially if they're supporting Bushcare as well. At Tuesday, on the 17th, you can go to at 8:30am, you can go to the Dunn Road Bushcare. That's 159 Dunn Road in Rockley as well. And, that's all the time we've got for you guys. We're going to send you out with a song that I think will tickle Jordan's fancy on Sonic Aliens. We're going to play Badass Mother with Bub. Thanks so much. Stick around for Jordan on Sonic Aliens, and after that we've got Goo, which is a great show for music. Thanks very much.